Here are my 10 favorite travel experiences of 2025, moving on to number 9, this full-day walking tour of Istanbul's Old City. Istanbul is one of the oldest cities in the world, with buildings dating back as far as 500 AD and structures dating back to 1500 BC. So the only way to effectively see and truly understand the history of this incredible city is to do a guided tour. But if I'm being honest, I've always silently judged people who hired tour guides to show them around new cities. First off, because I'm a free walking tour stan, so why pay more for something you can get for free? But also because it seemed that people would mainly do it in cities they were scared to visit for one reason or another, which I'm just not on board with. But when a friend recommended her walking tour guide in Istanbul, and once I realized truly how much there was to learn about this city, I figured it was worth a shot. And it ended up being one of my favorite travel experiences of 2025, not only because she helped us cut the line at all the major sites, but because of everything we learned throughout. We started our day at 9 a.m. at the Blue Mosque, which is a stunning piece of Ottoman architecture built in the 1600s. There are over 20,000 handmade tiles throughout the building, as well as ostrich eggs hanging from the lights that are used to ward off spiders. It also has 6 minarets, which apparently caused drama back in the day because only the Grand Mosque of Mecca had 6 minarets. So the Sultanahmet, who commissioned the Blue Mosque, apparently paid for a 7th minaret to be built at the Grand Mosque in Mecca, so there wasn't an issue. Then we headed over to Hagia Sophia, which is the oldest building in Istanbul and took only 6 years to construct in the 500s AD, which is wild because it's still standing today and is 182 feet tall. It also was initially built as a Catholic church during the Roman Empire, then converted to a mosque, then a museum, and now half of it a mosque and half a museum. That's why you don't see any icons or faces down on the bottom floor, because that's not allowed in a mosque. But they still allow them on the top floor because that's technically a museum and you can't see them from where you pray. Next, we headed to the Basilica Cistern, which is an underground cistern that was built in the 600s AD to supply water to the Great Palace of Constantinople. It has 336 marble columns supporting it that are all recycled from other buildings throughout the city, which is why none of them look identical, and 2 of them even have Medusa heads at the base, which are believed to be from a temple nearby. And lastly, my favorite, we visited the Obelisk of Theodosius, which we would have walked right by if she hadn't had us stop, and is actually the oldest of all the artifacts mentioned, having been carved in the 1500s BC in Egypt and later shipped over to Istanbul on multiple barges set up side by side with the obelisk lying across them. All of this, plus she took us around the Grand Bazaar and gave us tips on where to eat and what to see during the rest of our time in Istanbul. So this is a reminder to not be so quick to judge something like I was, because it might end up being one of your favorite travel experiences. Stay tuned for my 8th favorite travel experience of 2025 next week.